But once you get over that side, if they stay like that, you get this huge run with favourable wind up that one side, and that's where you get a great gain if you can do that. So yeah, sometimes you have to take a little bit of a loss by going against the ideal wind, and just so that you can have a longer run with a good wind.
Okay. Steve, we are now joining the next race, and we can see all boats.
Okay.
We are looking at your boat. All your boats are just sailing around, except the British boat just laying there upwind and waiting for getting a start. What are you guys thinking when you're laying here? Also, you're laying still now.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at a spot like, we can see, and I'm going to move forward a little bit, try and stop these boats from getting
Yeah,
in
the
front of
German and the
me.
English boat,
And
and
yeah, see the English boat, I'll put a penalty on him. He won't like me for that. And the guy next to me, he won't like me, but it's just the way it is. And I'm going to attack now because looking at it, I think that we're going to control the race for a minute, and we're just going to carry on here,
you're
see what
actually
the
in a
wind's
good
going to do.
position, aren't you?
Yeah, we're in the middle of the track, and the right-hand side shows it's going to the right, but the left-hand side shows that it's pointing to the left. So what we're going to do is go here a little bit just to see what it's going to do. If that middle one starts to move to the right, then we'll carry on this way. I think it is slightly moving to the right. So we're going to stick with
what
this
I'm
here.
looking here, if Tic Tac is doing attack to the right and Kutu, then all the boats will turn right, and then you have to decide, will I continue my path or will I turn with them? But there's a huge chance that you will be captured in the wind shadow.
I'm going now because I'm figuring that this wind is going to be, I'm going to be able to capture a nice, that middle one is pointing out to the right a little bit now. And down the bottom, it's now they're all moving back to the left, you see? So I'm glad I moved then, because I'm going to be able to, there's a bit of a delay between when we see those move and when it actually moves. So if I keep an eye on my boat will soon start to move a little bit to the right. And when my boat starts to move a little bit to the right, I'll probably move. It's starting to happen now. Here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. So now I'm going to move to the left, attack over.
Yeah.
And I should have a nice angle, because these other boats will be going the opposite angle.
This is going to be a close one between you and this.
Yeah, but I can tack in front of him. I can tack there and put wind shadow on him. And he can run into the back of him if he wants, but he'll get a penalty. Yeah, so it's a matter of positioning your boat sometimes as well into the right position and making it difficult. If you've got right of way and you can put yourself in front of the boat. This guy behind me is a good sailor, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. He's going to be on top of me here, and I'm going to go over here. There's less wind, but I'm going to come back.
He's turning away now. We can see. So he's going for the wind, but now he's doing attack for doing an attack again.
I just want to, I'll sit in front of him. You see,
Steve,
he's there.
I would just go in and watch this first mark again, because what we saw was a classic example from you coming in front of the other boat, throwing wind shadow at him. He has a better speed, but he has to turn away from you. You coming first around the mark, and he's coming second. So way to go, way to go. Thank you for that. And now we are coming towards the gate mark. We are back in with you now, Steve.
He's going to try and put wind on me here. I'm going to try and put a penalty on him. And he's going to get me. Yeah, he got me.
He got you there.
He's such a good sailor. He's a good sailor. He did really well then, because he managed to dodge my attack. And then because he was on the inside lane, once we got within that circle, you'll see the circles around the buoys, around the markers. Because once we got inside that circle, if he was on the left-hand side of me where he had right of way. And he did very, very well to get me there. I thought I was going to get him, but he managed to turn away. Yeah. So full credit to him. Full credit. He really did a good, smart move. And I've seen this guy. I've raced against him many times. I know he's a good sailor. So I knew I was up for a challenge when that wind's changing. So I'm going up. I knew that, and he'll attack. You see, he's just going to give me some dirty air. Thanks very much, but I would have done the same. Yeah. So I'll just go back again.
He's trying to control the race, and right now he's having the momentum. We can see. So a really good French guy. He's doing a skip. Why are you going all the way to the lay mark now?
Because you see how that wind on the left-hand side is pointing up this way, and it's coming. I've got this. He's coming back now too. Anyway, he's going to try and come.
He's doing the same move as you're doing in front of you. So
but I've gone a little further out because that way he's not going to go out. So the wind's not so bad. But Yeah, I was just trying to get into the best position I could when I'm in a bit of a bad position.
Yeah.
So
But now it's going to be a race towards the finish line. We can see most of the wind are in the middle of the racetrack. So what to
yeah,
do now, Steve? What to do?
well, I'm going to try and chase him, but he's got 33 meters. It's just enough to keep out of trouble. He was unfortunately when we came on that other leg, he was right there on my tail, if you remember,
Yeah,
and
I did.
so. Yeah, he was. He was able to put air on me. As soon as you can put bad wind on somebody, you can really attack because you sort of got a bit of an advantage because you can. If you're 20 meters behind or 25 meters behind, you can just go alongside them, and suddenly you're giving them this wind shadow, slowing them down. And if you can do it on this left-hand side, like I'm on the left-hand side of him now, when I turn, I'd have right of way if he was next to me. If you get on the right-hand side of someone, it's not quite the same because they've got right of way. So you can get yourself, if he was on the left of me now and close and I tacked, I'd be get a penalty against me. So with this sailing, one thing I've learned, Thomas, is learning these rules of sailing. I've learned a lot of rules of sailing by playing this game.
Yeah. But one thing you can't. I learned that you cannot learn all rules of sailing. But when you do, because when you're doing real sailing, you have to follow the rule books, and the rule books are so big that you cannot read them all. They're making fun of it themselves in world sailing. I participated at the first World Cup Championship in World Championship in eSailing in Sarasota, Florida, and there they explained us about the rules. And there's a lot of rules, but this game actually has many similar rules to real sailing. Here we're just in a computer game instead of where other things can happen, and that's also a good thing.
Yes, there's rules, but the rules I